We're here with Navy kicker Bijan Nichols and team captain. Bijan, I haven't had a chance to talk to you, but this must be a frustrating situation for you. You're all set for the season opener, and it's correct that the injury occurred the week prior to the opener, that week of practice?
Yeah.
Right. And I think I read in an article, but you described it as a fluke type thing that as to how it occurred?
Yeah, I mean, I was just wasn't really expecting it, wasn't feeling off or anything like that. Just kind of happened.
So I believe you actually dressed and kicked in warm-ups prior to Delaware. Is that correct?
Yeah, I tried to swing it a little bit before Delaware.
And just couldn't go?
No.
Did you ever imagine it would go on this long? I mean, because it seemed like if you were a game time decision against Delaware, then maybe that would be, you'd be back next week, and we keep waiting and it hasn't happened. I mean, and I know it's frustrating.
Right, yeah, definitely very frustrating. I try to stay positive though and not think about how long it's been since then and just take it one day at a time. What do I need to do recovery wise? What can I do mentally to get myself ready when my body's ready? And then also most importantly, what can I do to help the other guys out right now, because they're the ones going out on the field. So those have kind of been my focuses. Try not to dwell on anything.
So what have you been doing to help Daniel Davies and all the other specialists? I mean, I see you over on the side field, and you become kind of like specialist coach.
Yeah, I mean, especially in season, you don't want to do too much. I don't want to give him a ton of things to think about, but kind of on game days, especially before the game, I'll tell him hey, this is what I think about pregame. I know one of the big ones at the beginning of the season was hey, make sure you always know where the play clock is, because sometimes we're thinking about going for it on a 4th and short or something, and then we have a field goal, but we need to kind of hurry it up a little bit. So just small little tips like that, but nothing too big, because you don't want to get in a guy's head or anything like that. Just anything I can do to help him out.
So obviously I know you work with the trainers, and you're going through your rehab, and they advise and they tell the coaches where you're at on that front. But in the end, you know yourself better. And how are you approaching? Do you once a week try to kick and see how things feel? Or, I mean, kind of tell me how you're approaching it and how you'll know when you're ready to be back.
I mean, it's definitely a progression. And you don't want to force anything either. I definitely go off feel a lot. I try to push myself kind of up to that limit of this is how much I can handle today. I'm gonna do as much as I can without overdoing it. So just being smart about it every day, and a lot of communication with the staff, coaches and trainers and team doctors, which is just get me back as soon as possible and healthy.
So have you been kicking in practice? Do you kick once a week, maybe Thursday or something, to see? Maybe, you have to figure out whether you might be able to kick on Saturday at some point through the week. Or do you just know from how you're feeling that, I'm not going to kick this week because that's not going to help anything. It's going to make things worse.
Yeah, I mean, when it was feeling really bad, I wouldn't go out and swing my leg at all.
There's no
but
point, right.
Right, but I'll kind of stretch it out, and from stretching it out and kind of going through the motions, maybe swinging on air a little bit. Or just kind of going through the progression statically, you can kind of get a good idea of how it's feeling and whether you're going to be ready or not.
So obviously, Navy fans, will we see you out on the field kicking this season? Do you feel like you're getting there and that you'll be back?
Yeah, definitely.
Right. And it's just, I bet you can't wait, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Daniel Davies, he's had a good season so far. Just being a supportive teammate there for him, just what's that been like, kind of, being a mentor and just a friend to him?
I mean, Daniel's done a great job for us. It's so cool to see him step up into that role, and I'm so happy for him as a teammate and also as a close friend. We were youth soccer teammates back in Dallas.
Were you really?
Yeah, maybe 10, 11 years old. So he was one of the few guys I knew coming into the academy, and to just see him do as well as he's done and to be able to help him just a little bit, it's really great just to see that for him personally and then for the team as well.
And then just for a Houston preview, just as a captain, what's been your message to the team this week heading into this game Saturday?
I think the big thing to focus on is just the details. Most games we're in are very close, kind of flip either way. So we need to make sure that we're locked into the small details of things, not just on the football field, but around the facility, in the locker room and the way we do everything. It's kind of our culture.
Well, we're here with Navy quarterbacks coach Ivin Jasper. We're talking about Ty, the big rushing performance. It's the breakout performance we've been wanting to see, needed to see. How happy were you with that?
to get 100+ yards is definitely a big plus. But he played well. Again, still hasn't got to that Yoda, the Yoda status yet, but he's doing some good things. Missed a few checks, which is, again, something you don't want. But he played well. Also, he took some really big shots, and one, I think he get up from it. The guy got him pretty good, but he fought through that, which was really, really good to see. So again, he has to learn how to get tackled, and not take those big shots. But again, very satisfied with his performance.
So Coach had been Coach Niemeyer talked on Monday about, you all have been talking about if teams slow play you, like you go out there with the pitch and they're kind of like, you got to make them pay.
Yes.
Can you kind of elaborate on that, Ivin?
Well, no, it all comes down to the quarterback. I've always taught those guys to think, be greedy with the football, make the defense tackle you. You got the ball first, make them tackle you, and that's always their mindset. And that's the mindset that he needs to keep, make people tackle him, try to constrict the defense and get the ball on the perimeter. And that's always been my coaching points, always been our philosophy here, and never going to change it. And again, it continued to work for us, so if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Well, that's what Keenan had pointed out. That a lot of times he didn't force the pitch, the guy that's got the quarterback key to come to him. That
right.
He pitched a little early before the guy had actually committed to him, and that's kind of the key, right?
And that's a secret that only they will learn. Keenan was really, really good at it, and that's something that, again, watching film and studying, and again, it comes with reps. And I think Friday night, was from that point of view was a good learning thing for him to see. To sometimes you can't just pitch that football. You got to be aggressive. So
right.
He did a good job later on in the game.
Upfield,
later on in the game, and then now hopefully we can build on that.
So can you talk about, have you been noticing on tape that that opponents are kind of like focusing on fullback and pitch and just kind of letting Ty run and figure, hey, we'll track him down. He's not all that fast. He's
not really. People they've been playing the things that obviously we got to be more consistent. When the ball is to the fullback, we got to make yards. When it's to the pitch, we got to make yards. The QB's carrying, we have to make yards. So anything anybody's doing, people are playing us the same way. We just got to be more efficient. Got to execute at a very high level, take care of the football, and just be who we are.
So what he put on tape this weekend with that rushing performance and showing he can get 8, 9, 10 yards, which that does hurt a defense. That's first downs. Exactly. Do you think that'll help the overall offense? Because now the opponents are like, we're going to have to take their quarterback out.
It does. And again, it comes back to the quarterback. Again, not going to be a very dynamic runner, not going to be, like those other guys, but you have to be effective.
The overall percentage is below 50%. Is that the one thing he's got to work on, is better accuracy?
Better accuracy. Will Worth is really a pretty good thrower. Kim's a good thrower. Even Malcolm has a school record for completion percentage. People don't know that.
Right.
But again, just have to be more consistent on the football. Throwing one great pass is great, but if we can get more of those and be more consistent, it's going to help us overall. And that's one thing that he understands, that we understand. Got to do more from practice, get more reps at it, more looks at it, so we can be more efficient throwing the football.
So lastly, do you feel like overall, though, he's improved and developed as far as operating the offense? He seems to have a better command. I feel like he's making good decisions.
Yes. He's
handling the ball.
Mechanic-wise, as far as running the option, he's up there with the best of them as far as his footwork. He has really, really good hands. He's a quick jabber, kind of like Kite Boy as far as getting the ball dealt. He has really quick hands. And again, just mechanically, he's really, really sound. The main thing, again, just being more consistent. He's a good option quarterback. But the main part is, again, being an effective runner, helping us so our QB can be a threat. Because if he's not a threat, that can hurt us. So last week, he showed that he can run the football, and now people have to defend it.